2 tips for better squats, since we're squatting a lot in this cycle. Foot pressure and knee movement. We tell beginners to oftentimes get their weight in their heels before they begin their descent, even to wiggle their toes before descending. We do that because oftentimes people have too much pressure in the ball of their feet and are losing pressure from the foot, so trying to get them to better balance out. As we become more advanced though, it's not wise to think about putting all the weight in the heel. You really want to keep weight balanced over the middle of your foot. So the heel's down, sure, but the toes are also down. The way I like to think of it is like gripping the floor with your hands. I'm going to try and grab on with them, but with my feet and via my toes. So this same sensation, trying to grip the floor, hands, grip the floor with my feet as well. By doing so, I'm trying to get 3 main points of pressure: my foot, big toe, little toe, and the heel, all digging in, all evenly balanced for even distribution of weight across my foot. Now, knee movement. Out of the hole, this is especially important for development for a bigger squat in the future. Too many folks tend to squat down and then shoot the knees back and let the hips shoot up as they're coming out of the hole. It becomes more like a good morning in this version. Squat down, knees pop up, stand up. Shooting those knees back at the bottom of the squat may feel somehow stronger for you because maybe your back or lower back and hips are a little bit stronger than your legs at the moment. But for development of the squat and getting stronger overall, it's better to not let that happen and instead think about keeping the knees forward as you come out of the hole. The quads are a big driver of extending the hip out of the bottom of the hole. And by shooting the knees back, we're not allowing the quads to develop and become better at what they're meant to be doing anyway. So once you consider that as you're warming up for squats this week, how are your knees tracking out of the hole? Do they shoot back? Do your hips rise too fast? Or do you keep your knees forward out of the hole? It's okay to have your knees past your ankles, past your toes. You may have heard of old wives' tales saying never let your knees get past your toes, always keep your knees stacked on top of your ankles so the shin's vertical. That's not necessarily perfect in a squat. A lot of folks squat wider due to their hip anatomy, and a taller shin might make more sense for them. But in general, most people here would benefit from keeping their knees forward due to their stance so they can get more leg drive and then further develop the squat. So those are your 2 tips this week. Foot pressure, grabbing the floor with your toes, 3 points of pressure in that foot, big toe, little toe in the heel, gripping it as hard as possible with your feet, gripping that floor as hard as possible with your feet, and then making sure the knees stay forward out of the bottom of the hole in your squat.